didn't break either. That's nice. That makes me happy. Except this one. I don't think I'm going to let that one go so fast. Hey everyone, back with another video, and this time I want to do something a bit different. Believe it or not, usually when I do my videos I have at least a number of takes, be it that I just try to streamline things a bit more or phrase things a bit better when actually hearing myself speak, or where my mouth is just a bit too stupid and I mispronounce things or stumble over my own tongue, which is bound to happen at least a few times this time around as well. But I'll try to keep it, you know, relatively one-shot-ish, because I want to have a look at something. Now, you might be aware, or if you're not, check it out, that I've done a set of videos on the Thokks. And in these videos, I mentioned that I wasn't too happy with how different the Thokks look. Just, well, not the Thokks really, the LBAs, the Longsword Badass Add-ons, how different they look compared to the advertisement. And thing is, I mentioned, and I am in fact aware that you are supposed to shape them to your hand, that is an idea behind it. But what I also mentioned, and I'm not sure everyone actually got, is that I tried that, right? Particularly with the thumb plate, because it is so very flat with the rest. I kind of like thought I could do for a while, but I tried that and it just snapped immediately. And after that, I was just a bit more concerned about whether that is actually something you can do. I contacted the manufacturer and they sent a replacement. It took a while to get to me. In the meantime, I just didn't really do anything. And I just basically was thinking, like, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe you are supposed to actually use a heat gun to really warm it up. Maybe you are supposed to be really, really careful. You know, just gradually bend it and not be quick about it. Just see, you know, treat it delicately. I don't know. Thing is, the advertisement didn't mention anything of that. It just says you can bend it to your shape. And looking around for just, you know, other ways to maybe handle it, I found the video again of the original presentation of what is in the Backers pack. Not what, you know, people who buy it when it is out get, but I think it is the package that just the backers get. And what I want to do now is basically just take that as a model of how you should bend these and just see what happens. Now, I have this one here for the right hand that I broke, and that one was, as I understand it, due to the material just being from a bad batch. I have the left one of that still around, but I'm not going to bend that. That wouldn't be fair. They said it is a bad batch. But I do have the replacement, so that is something that I want to look into. Crumble, crumble. It is still in the wrapping. So it is size L, as my other one is. Nice. And that is just very freshly an LBA as it gets to you. You have the strap that goes behind the plate of the back of the hand, the two straps. This one unfortunately broke on us 2 times already. And, you know, the thumb blade. And I watched the video, and looking at it, you know, they weren't particularly careful about it. They just bend it like I would do. Actually, I was more careful when I broke mine than what they did. So I just kind of want to check if this one works now, and then how it looks on the glove. So there are basically 3 places where there are pre-made cuts in the plates that you can use to bend. there's basically these two here that then give this a little bit less flat of a shape. There is this plate here that you can bend down that then protects the inside of your finger. And then there is the thumb plate. So yeah, I will just try to do what I remember from the video. So I'll start with these two and then go to the side plate and then do the back of the hand. So just basically how this is supposed to go. These are supposed to be pre-made cuts. Yeah, it is actually shaping to a degree, that is good. Okay, that is formed and it didn't snap on me, that is nice. Then just going to the other side. I am a bit hesitant still because, yeah, the last time it just completely snapped on me, so I'm trying to keep an eye on how the plate looks overall, but the plate in general didn't break on me so far, so that's nice. So that is already a bit different in shape, just comparing the two. There's that. And then it is the back plate that I think they also shaped a bit more to be a bit closer. Okay. Then that is that. Then we have the plate that protects the side of your finger. That one, I'm not entirely sure if that one would have really helped because the thrust I got was here, and I'll have to check because looking at the video it also looks like their LBA is a bit more forward, so maybe it would have helped. I have to see, but I'll try to bend this one here. Well, I mean, I guess it's a plate that maybe it's supposed to be that way. I mean, this one is snapped now, but it is still held in place. It's still a plate that goes over your finger, so maybe that is just supposed to be like that. Then, okay. So again, just comparing the two, it does look better, I'd say. Then, thumb plate. That is the one I'm actually kind of worried about, because what I did was basically try to bend it like this, if I remember correctly, and then it just rather quickly snapped. And looking at the video, basically they just, as far as I remember, just go like this with the hands, and I'm not entirely sure I trust it like that, but you know, that is better actually. Okay, yeah, that does feel better than the plate I had. I don't think I ever got that far really, and that is much better looking. It does feel less brittle. I'm not entirely happy with that part here, but again, as I said, maybe it is supposed to be like that. Okay. Final shaping on the finger part. I think, yeah. I think basically just now I might have overdone it. I don't think the video really shows it, but you can feel that there's a ridge forming. I think it started to tear, maybe. It's hard to, feels a bit like it. But at least it didn't snap. So I'd still say be a bit careful with that one, but again, it doesn't feel as brittle as the one I had here, where just, you know, just clean out snapped. Yeah. This is definitely farther than I got with my other one. I'd say let's try and put it on and put them next to one another and see how that goes. It's a bit tighter to get into the fingers now, but that's fine. I mean, that is definitely better looking, I would say. The part about not really being able to straighten your finger is now more pronounced, of course, because you have a better bend in the actual plate, but that's not something I'm going to complain about. So that is basically how it looks shaped now. As I said, just the way this bends now, it's starting to take a rather sharp turn, but overall I would say that the replacement definitely did hold up much better. It's also covering the fingers a bit better though, so that is good. I would say the gap is closed a bit better. I wonder how these here will hold shape over time. But yeah, this has gone better than I feared, which is nice. I like being positively surprised. Wanted to catch my initial reaction. So yeah, I'll do that with the other as well, I'd say. And we'll see how that goes. So second one. Let's start with the plate here again. Not entirely sure I would call that a pre-cut, but it is stitched through. Oh no, you can actually feel it. There's a certain point where it does give way without breaking. But I'd definitely be more careful about than they are in the video. But hey, I haven't handled as many of them, I guess. Again, much better looking. Moving to the back plate, or the part of the back plate. Yeah. Then this one here, the side of the finger. Maybe I can get it without breaking this time. Nope. I mean, there's just very little that can bend without it breaking because it's so small. Again, maybe that is the point. It feels like half attached still, so that's good. Okay, and then this one again. Not gonna lie, I'm still worried about it, just after my first experience. But hey, it worked once. I'm still not gonna be as quick about it. Don't trust it that much. But again, it feels way less stiff. So just comparing the two, I don't think you can really see it, but yeah, there is this sharper edge here where I think it started giving way, not breaking though, or not tearing really, but I'm kind of trying to avoid that in this one here. But I still want to give it a decent bend overall, because I don't like how flat it is. I guess about same-ish. Didn't break either. That's nice. That makes me happy. Except this one. I don't think I'm going to let that one go so fast. Okay, time to wiggle it on. Still have to reseat my Velcros. But yeah, that's that basically. Definitely looks better, I would say. I'll probably have to reshape the thumb here a bit more. It's still comparatively flat. I'll have to see how that goes. But it is definitely better, and by bending the sides, it is also covering the fingertips better. So seems like it really was a bad batch. Now, we still have the problem with the straps. That is something I think they still need to address, because Ulrich's glove broke at the strap as well. 2 of his, and 1 of those was a replacement. But it seems that at least the plate for the thumb is better in bending. So, as much as I can with the plates, thumbs up for that. Cheers. Right, so small addendum to the addendum, because believe it or not, I'm actually trying to get into the habit of recording these things a bit ahead of time, so that when necessary or beneficial I can do segments like this, where I add to the video and still, if possible, keep our 2-week release schedule. And 2 things came up that I think are worth noting. So it's been about roughly 2 weeks since I did the bending of the plates, and I do feel really like they bend back a good bit. Now there's still a difference between those, I would say. Just when comparing them. So in case you wanted to guess and you didn't see, this one is the one that I bent and this one is the one I didn't bend. That's the old one, that's the new one. I can still feel it in the plates here, you can still see it, I would say, but they did bend back quite a bit, probably to be expected. Least of all this one here at the side, but even there, I think. So just do keep in mind that when you bend the plates off your LBAs, you will probably have to do that more than once to give them a chance to, stay their new shape. One time doesn't seem to be enough for that. And another thing that came up, because I bent the plates, I actually had a chance to use them more in fencing on my dominant hand in fencing. And one thing I noticed that when I used them for Messer was that I really think the combination is not for me personally, and I think the reason for that might partly be for just how I use my hand in Messer fencing. Personally, I think that finger maneuverability, hand maneuverability, being flexible in your grip is incredibly important for Messer fencing. If you enclose your hand and you can basically just do this, you miss a lot as far as I'm concerned. And what I seem to do a lot is spread out my fingers and group my index finger and my middle finger together, really. So basically I seem to be doing this here more than this. And thing is, because of the way that the Thokks are working together with the LVAs, they basically do this, right? There is this band here going over the two fingers in the middle, and I found out in fencing that I really do not like that. Just I found it surprisingly irritating to have this band there at this place. Really, I felt it really kept me from moving my fingers the way I wanted to. Plus, at the moment, my finger is really not quite in all the way. It's a bit odd, really, the way that goes. I had to take them off to continue fencing. So basically just, that might just be a me thing again, because I seem to be more susceptible to that. Just, I feel like I'm more sensitive to finger maneuverability and losing it in particular with my gloves than many other people. You know, not better or worse, just something that seems to be the case. But I would say that when you intend to get the LBAs with the Thokk to compensate for some of the gaps in protection that the Thokk have for one-handed things like Messer or similar, then I would maybe advise you to first tape your two fingers in the middle together, like at about the first joint, a bit below, and fence with that and see how you feel about that. Because I, for my part, found out that I really don't like it. I'll keep trying. Maybe there's something you need to get used to, but the first few impressions were rather not for me, I'm afraid. So probably less of a problem when I actually use it for longsword. I still need to try that one out again. So yeah, just as I said, small addendum to the addendum. Cheers.